She was small and thin with a careworn face that could break into a warm and loving smile, and then her hazel eyes would twinkle with mischief. Her hair was smoothed back from her face into a loose bun at the nape of her neck, and no one ever saw Elsie without her apron. Her life was simple. Caring for her husband and her sons was all she wanted out of life, hard though at times that life could be. But however tough it got, there was love and laughter in their home, and the Hutton family faced life's difficulties together. And by the look on her face, there was more trouble coming to her door now.
"Have you heard?" "Heard what, Elsie?"
Dot's mercurial attention was already flitting away again as she turned for yet another reassuring look in the mirror, and smiled smugly at the contrast between herself and her drab neighbour. For the umpteenth time, Dot wondered what kept Sid Hutton faithful. Elsie never wore cosmetics, never dressed smartly. Even her Sunday best coat had seen better days. It had probably been second-hand when Elsie had got it, Dot thought uncharitably, as she smoothed her new silk dress over her slim waist and shapely hips. She couldn't wait for Arthur to see her in it. He'd given her the money and told her to get herself something nice.
"And treat the kid too. Buy her a pretty frock."
But all the money he'd given Dot had gone on the dress for herself. It had been worth it, though. Low cut at the neckline and tight-waisted. She knew Arthur wouldn't complain.
"About the kids being sent away." "Eh?"
Dot's head whipped round. Elsie had her full attention now.
"What you talking about?" "Evacuated. They're being evacuated." "Elsie, talk English, will ya? I haven't a clue what you're on about." "Don't you ever read the papers or listen to the news on the wireless, Dot?"
Elsie's patience was wearing thin. Dot smiled and winked.
"Got better things to do with me time." "Well, didn't you get the list?" "List? What list?" "We all had a list come round about what the kids should take with them." "Oh, don't remember no list. Anyway, she ain't got much worth taking on holiday. Sides are starting back to school, ain't they? Summer holidays is over." "'Tain't no holiday, Dot,"
Elsie snapped.
"Kids, old folks," she ticked them off on her fingers, "and invalids are all going to relatives or to be billeted with folks in the country if they'll take 'em. And pets too, if you've got any. Got a couple of rats in the roof."
Dot gave a tinkling laugh.
"I hear 'em every night. I wouldn't mind getting rid of them beggars."
Jenny shuddered. Whenever she heard the scuffling above the ceiling in her bedroom, she buried her head beneath the bedclothes. She hated the beady-eyed vermin, and to think they were scampering about just above her. Dot fluffed her hair again.
"The country, you say? Sounds like an holiday to me."
Elsie cast her glance to the ceiling and shook her head.
"I give up,"
she muttered, and turned to go. But it was Jenny's little voice that halted her.
"Auntie Elsie? What do you mean?"
Elsie turned, and her expression softened. She liked the little girl, who she reckoned had a rough time of it. Oh, Dot was right enough in her way, but Elsie had serious doubts that Dot loved her daughter, really loved her, with a proper mother's unconditional love. Dot had been scarcely more than a child herself when she'd got in the family way, and the father, not much older than Dot, had hopped it, leaving the 17-year-old to cope on her own. Elsie didn't know much about Dot's background, but she'd picked up snippets from the gossip about her, and even from Dot herself, when one drink too many had loosened her tongue. Dot had been illegitimate too, brought up by her single mother, who'd never married and had drunk herself into an early grave. Talk about history repeating itself, Elsie thought. She hoped the same thing wouldn't happen to Jenny. Despite her home life, and it was in spite of it, Jenny was a nice kid, a good kid. Oh, she got into mischief, usually alongside Elsie's own Bobby, but the woman had a soft spot for Jenny. She'd always make time for her, which was more than the girl's own mother did. They were both looking at Elsie now, the same question in their eyes, and it was Jenny who voiced it.
What do you mean, evacuated?"
Elsie sighed, sat down beside Jenny on the lumpy sofa, and put her arm round the girl's shoulders.
"Listen, darling. They reckon there's going to be a war and that.